Hey guys, so I'm here with Victor Mpitsang. Victor, welcome to the show again. I had you at the beginning when you just got appointed, and now I'm here before World Cup, so it's awesome. But we here at the KFC Mini Cricket, so I want to start with that.
Yeah.
I want to chat to you about it because I was really inspired by a lot of the talk, especially from we had Sinalo Jafta speak, we had Björn Hendrik, we had some of the coaches, etc. I just want you to tell me the importance of KFC Mini Cricket for the future of South African cricket.
Look, it's a starting point, isn't it? It's the introductory part of cricket whereby boys and girls can be introduced to this lovely game that we all love. And I always say, you always do. I mean, you've done a lot of interviews, and generally when you talk to sportsmen or sportswomen, they'll always tell you maybe about a teacher that inspired them, but generally they talk about their professional coaches. But if you actually think about it, the heroes are actually the lady, the gentlemen and the ladies that are sitting in that room, because they are the ones that sort of start the process. You know, they're the ones that encourages you. They give you that family environment whereby you feel safe. You want to go because the coach has been such a lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them have been ladies. I mean, I was introduced to the game of cricket by a lady, Mrs. Swart in Kimberley. And she made sure that I was there, you know, and you weren't there, you got some hiding, you know. But it was fun. And for KFC and Cricket South Africa to come here and celebrate them in a way and say thank you for what you do. And the other thing about them having them here, they're coming in, they're sharing their ideas on how we can improve the system, which is outstanding.
And you hear the Proteas players, of course, talk about their journeys in mini cricket and talking about that transition from some of them obviously playing mini cricket and then going into hardball cricket.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that and some of the messages that you've heard from the players about the system?
Look, I mean, I think we heard two different messages, wasn't it? I mean, we heard Buren talk about how his transition into hardball. Sinalo actually said after primary school she stopped playing cricket and she got back into the game at high school level because of there was no girls teams at the time and all the challenges that we've had. I mean, it's changed a lot now. You know, we have soon we'll have an under-19 World Cup for girls. So the structures are much better. There is now a career path now for the ladies. You know how well the Protea ladies have been doing now. So there is a pathway. So within all those challenges, it looks much better now for the future.
So having a big brand like KFC coming on board and them being a part of it, we see their brand all over, obviously on the T20 cricket, the banners everywhere when you play T20 series. So having a big sponsor like them on board to come here and say, look here, we're backing your development and we're backing cricket in South Africa. What does that mean for you, even as being part of the big family?
Look, I think, I mean, I know it's been tough. I think the last 18 months have been really tough to a lot of corporates, but I think KFC also sees the value that they add to the system and to the development of all these cricketers. You know, I don't think, I mean, if you just say KFC and you're a cricket lover, you just immediately think about mini cricket. And I mean, the impact that it has, I mean, what is it, 125,000 young cricketers playing. I mean, that's remarkable, you know. And accessibility about the game and making sure that kids are looked after, you know, which is outstanding. Look, we're hoping that the numbers do grow, because the bigger the base of players, the bigger it is for us to sort of see talent, to be introduced to this talent, and also try and make sure that the system becomes stronger. So, and you have your phases, and KFC is one of those. KFC Mini Cricket is one of those, which is probably the most pivotal aspect of our game.
Let's go into your role as convener of selectors. Now we have a T20 knockout competition currently happening where the Division 2s are playing the Division 1s. We're seeing excitement like that. And you being a previous convener of selectors for the under-19 selection, and they in this particular setup in this tournament, how excited are you about the new talent that are going to come through this tournament that maybe in the future you'll be picking one day for international
Look,
sides?
I think, I mean, first of all, we have to talk about the domestic structure, the change. The fact that there's 15 teams now. I think there's more exposure for a lot of cricketers. I mean, you've been in the structure. I mean, we used to be together at the Kaimajala Cricket Week where we saw all these young cricketers. Now, all of a sudden, because there's so many teams, you're like, oh, I saw this bowler when, you know what I mean, at this specific level. So now they'll get more opportunities to play. But I mean, one thing about T20 cricket is it's a short game. but it's a pressure game, and you need to make good decisions at a specific time and to be exposed to that. I mean, you think about game number 1 now, we're already in the 3rd week of the tournament, and the cricket is getting better. It's exposure, it's content, and I always talk about content whereby we want to see cricketers play cricket. And unfortunately, in the last 18 months, it has not been the case. If you just think about the cricket that's been played, I think Proteas have probably played most of the games, and you can understand why everything is in biosecure. But we actually need our next tier of cricketers to come through, but they need to play cricket, and it's a good start so far.
So we have the World Cup coming up soon, and the Proteas have embarked on quite a few tours where they were tested by spin and sort of different conditions, etc. Can you talk to me about that selection process for a World Cup? I mean, it must be quite tough, especially when you have guys like that fans are obviously calling for. Like you have the likes of Imran Tahir playing well. You've got the likes of Chris Morris maybe playing well as well. People have called for him, and Faf du Plessis currently playing well as well. But then you also have your guys that are playing excellently as well in the current setup. So just the thought process behind picking a team and looking at the series at all, because I know that your journey would have started from the moment you walked into the role.
Yeah, it was a bit challenging in the beginning when we played against England. Because I guess we just didn't know what was happening. The pandemic, we haven't played a lot of cricket. We were supposed to play. We had COVID cases. We didn't have to play our warm-up game. So it was so many challenges. But, with challenge come opportunity as well. I think for us with this World Cup, I mean, if you think about the Pakistani tour we had with the T20 squad, we had to have the test squad being sent home so that to get ready for Australia. So it gave us another opportunity to look at other players, within the system. But the journey, I would think that we actually, when everybody was available for selection, was the West Indies tour, which I thought was a good one. After our first game, I think everybody was like, oh, what's going on? They're a wonderful team, the West Indies. The reason why they're world champions, because of the style of cricket they play. But after losing that first game, how the guys stepped up and really won that series was a big plus. But for us, it was just the start of the journey to making sure that when we do pick the squad, they are exposed to playing a lot of games. I think after that we went to Ireland, and then obviously that was it because we couldn't pick. We had to look at that. The other thing though that also went into it was the conditions we're playing in. Also bearing in mind that IPL is busy at the moment there. So what kind of services are we going to get? Will it be similar? And we think that it will turn. If you look at most of the squads that have been picked, they picked quite a lot of spinners. So eventually we came up with a 15-man squad. It's an 18-man squad technically because we have the 3 reserves. But we feel that the resources that we have there will cover all those pitches that we'll be playing.
And like I mentioned before, you got the likes of Faf and Imran and Chris and etc. How much pressure did they put on you as a selector?
Look, I think they'll always put pressure on you because they're world-class players. I mean, Chris plays IPL. He's done really well in IPL, but I think he's a different conversation because having spoken to the DOC, he said he wasn't available for South Africa. There's obviously Imran said he was available, but we also need to. I think the other spinners are also doing well, So what do you then do? And you have to back the talent that's around. I'm not saying that he's a bad player. You're just saying that the other guys have really done well, and that's the balance that we've gone with. So I mean that was the final decision, and that's it.
Yeah. So you got the World Cup coming up. Are you excited for the tournament?
I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, we have a nice tough group. We start off with Australia, and we have West Indies and England in their group, and then obviously the other 2. And we also saw what a luxury T20 can become. You have to be on the money from the word go, but I mean, I think we've got the players to get us over the line.
Lastly, us as a cricket fanatics and fan base, of course, what do you want to see from us? What would you like from us in return? Because you guys putting a team on the field for us and just performing every day?
Just support. I think we just have to support the guys, and hopefully they can make us proud. I believe that they can, and I'm hoping that everybody else in South Africa believes that. And let's hope by the end of the World Cup, we can actually bring that trophy to South Africa.